these services that we need, all these consultants we have to bring in for just the smallest things. And that's why I said, okay, we need these trust funds, more money to begin with. It needs to immediately be set up. But we're not even talking for the trophy wife. We're not even talking for the house to have the trophy wife in with high ceilings. This is just these basic services, because these are things we're not going to be able to do for ourselves. That's why we immediately take the upgrade to a higher social class where you've got servants that are doing things like this. And of course, we have to keep the sexuality on an age appropriate track at minimal. If you're not early developing it with older women, then you have to be at least on time, so because this doesn't wait, the penis doesn't wait, and that's what has to be kept age appropriate. And so you can't have your mom doing your laundry, you can't have your dad doing your laundry. And we're using laundry as a big example because that's what we were just at. I was talking about how it was sucking all of my energy. But we have to be given these, well, we have to give others these logos, and here's why. Now, one of my conspiracy theories is that what they did was, that's why they gave this concept of logo. They called the LGBT movement, they had a network called Logo early on. I don't know if it's called Logo anymore, but and they one of the things that are very big in the world of gay, lesbian, when they have their media productions, is they always like to put a logo. And they talk about the AIDS epidemic, San Francisco Bay Area, and all of these hospice had a logo, and all of these companies that emerged, and nonprofit organizations and charity organizations, and this entity had a logo. And let's get these people their medications. Let's get these people this before they had medications. People were just dying of AIDS. These hospices, these meal services, these friends for these people, and it's got a logo and all these. And they show, there was this documentary, I don't recall exactly what it was called. You probably might know about it if you're one of these cultural studies people, and they're having they're interviewing the person, they're showing the logo. They made a legitimate entity for this. But we need something like a smell consultant. So I need to meet, I've got a phone or something, or I go into, and I say, look, okay, I've got a bad smell between my legs. What do we do about it? I talk about the reasons why. And of course, yes, and we're going to take this off the table, but of course, one of the things that would come up when I'm talking about the problem with the smell between my legs, I need more pants, I need people washing my clothes for me, I need a luxury home with high ceilings and a trophy wife to enjoy my body so that I can get in a jacuzzi from time to time. So yes, having more money helps, etc. Okay, let's just say we're working with what we're working with. So taking all of that off the table, because let's just take the upgrade. Well, okay, we can have that, but we're working with what we're working with. That we need. And even when we have more money, so that we can be having some autonomy and controlling it. But this is what that trust fund needs to be for, is to work with special consultants, individualized consultants that tailor these individualized, like for shaving. If I look at my face, I don't like the fact that I'm not groomed, right? And so that's why one of the prerequisites for accessing these elite women, one of the prerequisites is you smell good. There's a lot of prerequisites, but among them is you smell good, you're groomed, right? But because of the cognitive limitations, I can only focus on one part of it, which is the having the right line to get in there and keep the door open. And so because I'm only good at that part, I need other people advising me on the other things to make sure those prerequisites are met. So we need a logo to give these people, the reason being that in the past, we were supposed to have been institutionalized, or we were so beneath the level of functioning that we were supposed to be institutionalized. So we have to give these people a logo. We have to be able to pay them money. And for consultancy works, when we get on the phone and say, hey, I got a smell between my legs, I get on the phone. So I don't like the fact that I'm not shaven every day. And what do we do about it? Since right now we can't afford the best barbers in New York, like I've been talking about, to come in with a straight razor and shave me, and they'll pay them a lot of money for it. So we're working with our consultants on a shaving plan, not a saving plan, a shaving plan. Well, there can be that too, someone budgeting consultancy, but they all need to be separate people. They all need to be paid well to work with people like me, so that there's all these nodes of people that create these plans, work with our calendars, work with our AI. But the reason why they have to be given logos and legitimacy, and they have to have companies, and they get paid from us, and we, whether it's hourly or whether it's for, a prepay for a certain amount of hours to consult with a smell expert about what we do about my legs, between my legs doesn't smell good, and I have to get on the phone with these people, or go to a location and see if they're available. Is that this was stuff that was supposed to be taken care of in an institutionalized environment for us, but it turns out there's a part of our brains that works really well, so we have to be allowed to go in public. So in order to um, really, really screw up the bad energy emanating from the history of that stigmatization of the fact that we weren't supposed to be in public, and we're supposed to be in institutions being taken care of this way. Um, where we can, have our special ed wife, and we're looking at a computer. We can look at a computer together and imagine we're different things, and we're not allowed to develop muscles, and we're not allowed to do push-ups, and we can't carry 30-pound dumbbells through the streets, and we're not allowed to make money, and our SSI is taken by these institutions to care for us, and we're not in view of the public, and the public's not allowed to look at us so that they don't get heebie-jeebie, you know, this has to be given a level of legitimacy, and so these people have to have logos, they have to have companies, they have to have websites. That when we pay them, it's an elite thing. It's not, we're special ed, we're retarded. It's an elite. We're elites, and so we pay our consultants to tell us, create a plan for us and keep us on it, regards to how if I've got a smell between my legs. When it comes to shopping, that's why I said let's take off the table. We need more money to begin with. Well, no, we can't. Where are we? On one side or the other, but that's inescapable. That we do need more money to begin with, because if we could just walk into Neiman Marcus, you've got these people flanking you as soon as you walk into Neiman Marcus, and these are your personal shopping assistants, and this is stuff that now I gotta ask AI what to do about this. You just tell them, I want this product, I'm into a face cream, I'm into a certain kind of pants, I'm into a certain kind of suit, and you go into Neiman Marcus, and I'm into a certain kind of winter coat, and you have a conversation with that consultant right there, and there's these people that specialize in all of that. So we need to be upgraded to that level ultimately, but in the meantime, we can, it's the Mount Diablo level, that our consultants that tell us what to do about our laundry, what to do about what we smell like between our legs, what to do about our weight, keeping us physically healthy, making sure there's an environment for it, making sure Planet Fitness is paid, that these consultants need to be given logo. And one of my conspiracy theories is that that's why they gave that to the gay, lesbian, transgender, community, LGBT plus as they call it, is to make us averse to it, so that we can just stay in the institution and not have to create this economy of consultants that work with us in this way, and give it legitimacy by having them paid, so that they don't have to give us what we call elevated welfare, so that we can function in society. So instead, we'll just stay in the institution and live small lives where you've got people caring for us like we have dementia. And it's kind of a way to look at it. We've got one part of your brain that works very well. Basically, every other part of you requires dementia care, right? And so, but there's one part that works very well. So that's the part that always ends up driving the personality, that always ends up driving the sexual identity also, where you have, I'm not attracted to women that drool on themselves and can't bathe, and dad's still doing her laundry. I'm attracted to women that learned calculus in elementary and did pre-med at SDSU at the very least, which is Mount Diablo level, or went to NYU, which is, I wouldn't say that's humble, but it's somewhere a little closer, right?